So I'd like to dig a little bit deeper into this because Jim's now is a very well-known brand, and it has what the marketing professors call brand equity. There's a lot of value in Jim's brand itself, Jim's group. But back in those early days when it started off, basically cutting the grass and looking after people's lawns and things, what was it about the way you went about sort of marketing and selling that people would buy your service? And what was it about the way you delivered your service that enabled you to get more customers?
Okay, where it really begins and ends is customer service. We're actually, look, I'm not no great shakes at marketing, but I'm fanatical about service. When I was a lawn mowing contractor, I was really, really, really intense on doing the best possible job. I was one of the first contractors in Australia to have a brush cutter because it used to frustrate me. I couldn't do all the edges perfectly. Every blade of grass has to be off, has to be done. I have to stop on time. I just have an emotional, really, really extreme attitude. Even today, I actually personally read every poor review that comes into Jim's group, every single one. And there are thousands and thousands a year. Every single one I read and do something about. So when I started, basically, I wanted a system that would be so great for franchisees that I could demand they give great service. So we devised certain things in the contract. And as soon as I franchised and people owned their own business, they gave much better service than my subcontractors ever had. And then with time, we started putting in more and more stuff into place. Like, for example, we started recording complaints and then having systems which were automated to follow up complaints. And we have systems to make sure the jobs only go to franchisees who want them. It used to be right up on the blackboard originally, and then we automated it. And then later on, we put surveys in place and worked out different ways of dealing with that. And as we've done that, the level of complaints went down and down and down. Like, for example, pre-franchise, about half the messages that came into my office were complaints, and the other half were new jobs. All right, it was bad. After a few years, we started monitoring complaints. It was down to about 5% of all stuff coming in, that all clients would be complaints. And then as time went on, as we dropped and dropped and dropped that, put better systems in place, now it's like well under 1%. And over the next year, we've got some software systems coming into place that I'm confident will drop that by at least half again. So, and as we've done that, what we've found is that it's become incredibly easy to find work because reputation, word of mouth, repeat customers have become so important. And just to give you an example, back in the 90s, I would have teams of canvassers knocking on doors to try and find work for my mowing contractors. It was a really, really hard thing to find work. As time gone, it's got easier and easier and easier. Last year, we knocked back 42% of all leads coming in, and we've dropped our advertising in recent years. In fact, we've given back more than $1 million to our franchisees from their advertising contribution because we can't spend it because so many divisions are so busy year round. Like fencing, for example, is about 60% unserviced. We just cannot cope with the demand. So my view of marketing is this: you've got to be out there and you've got to market, but really what counts is how good your service is. And if your service is absolutely brilliant and it's better and better and better, then it's extraordinarily easy to find work.